if you're interested in being less than just a talking head, if you want to be in a body and with a brain, with a mind, how do we, for instance, there's nothing wrong with mind, there's actually nothing wrong with ego, but how do we get the ego and the mind supported by the heart, the love and the heart and the emotion, and put into action through our bodies, through our strong animal body? How do we get all this supported and on the same team so that when we do contribute in our lives and need resilience to deal with these anxious times, to deal with a health crisis, to deal with an aging family member or a difficult child, how do we kind of have the most fluidity and resilience in ourselves so that we can contribute and be part of community and communion with the world in which we live?
While still being true to ourselves at the same
While
time.
still being authentic, because we can't do someone else's life. We actually have to. That's what I mean about this sort of unwrapping. It's like, well, how does Alexness, for instance, for you, how does Alex live? I can't exactly say, but I could certainly encourage a space in which you could discover that more fully. And so that's true for everyone there. It's not about saying this is the way it is. It's about offering opportunities and exercises for people to find out for themselves. This is what makes it more sustainable. As a young person, I did a lot of workshops where people told you how to do things so that it could change. And that was compelling enough, and it was of the era quite a common thing to do. But in retrospect, very unsustainable, because if you did something that didn't come naturally to you, it wasn't very sustainable, and it wouldn't usually last, and it would remain in the box of that weekend or week. Whereas this is about, well, this is very integrated into everyday life, and in that sense it's more slow. And I hesitate to say that because it's dynamic, it's very dynamic, but it's
accessible.
About more accessible and also less prescripted. It's like, don't listen to me, I'm going to give some suggestions. Maybe put cynicism aside for a few days and try this on, and feel free to pick that up later. But if you come, you're probably interested not so much in being a seeker for change, but a seeker for integration and a seeker for wholeness and freedom, like really true freedom that's authentic, and how to be more fully alive and contributing. I really love that word, because I think so often we think, well, what can we take? But actually, the world is always offering itself up to us. We are gifted all the time with fresh air and sunshine and food, and if we're lucky, we have housing, and there is a reciprocity that's necessary, and without the reciprocity we also die. We lose fluidity, we lose our resilience.